Welcome, this is Mayra from So Easy. We're going to be making culottes today. I wanted to mention briefly the type of material that you will need in order to be successful with this pair of culottes. By far the best fabric will be jacquard knit, and this is the fabric that has threads that jump back and forth in the back and creating the pattern. Both the print and the color are part of the weave, and so there is no print per se, only weave. This is a little bit more expensive, but it's not impossible to find. The one I used in the project I purchased in Spotlight in Australia, so you will be able to find that there. My favorite fabric would be a combination of wool and cashmere, and normally you can find this fabric in Italian shops, and the country that produces the best of jacquard knits is indeed Italy. The second best choice would be a double knit with 20% stretchability. Jeans, velour, lace, any other kind of fabric, as long as it has 20% minimum of stretch. Not suitable for single knits, since you need the body to cover or to drape around your hips well, and normally these knits do not recover properly. When I say recover, meaning that when you stretch it, it goes back to its original position without compromising the print nor the weave. The woman who will benefit the most from this type of culottes is one blessed with large bottom and a small waist, making you either a triangle, hourglass figure, or a small rectangle. So I hope you enjoy the tutorial, and thank you for watching. We are going to start with the pockets, and this type of pocket is called a slanted pocket. One side of the pocket will be cut on the bias, and to preserve it I had placed a fusible stretchable interfacing 1 inch wide along the opening of the pocket. Place the leg piece print side up and the pocket print side down. Pin in place and sew at 5/8 of an inch. The pattern has the seam allowance included, and it is 5/8 of an inch all over. Turn the seam allowance towards the pocket and iron. Then go back to the sewing machine and understitch at 1/8 of an inch. Let's work on the other pocket. This is the right pocket, and I am just repeating the same steps that we did before. Sew at 5/8 of an inch and then understitch. Let's cut the seam allowance to reduce the bulk and leave only 3/8 of an inch. You can use a twin needle if you want, however it's time consuming to change and thread a second needle, so this is possible if you have a second machine that you can work on. Otherwise it's just taking a little more time than I would like to. When sewing a slanted pocket, please do not pull the fabric, since this will buckle the edge of the pocket, and as you can see, the slanted pocket lays on a bias of the fabric, which already is quite stretchable. so the double stitching will prevent the pocket from losing its shape. Attach the back of the pocket to the front of the pocket and pin it. We will be sewing the rounded part of the pockets, and it's a fairly simple stitch at 5/8 of an inch. Prepare both sides of the culottes so you save time when you sit at the sewing machine. The next step will be to sew the crotch, but before I do that, I will pin the pocket at the top of the pocket so I don't sew it mistakenly with the crotch. We are going to sew just before the curve on the crotch to leave a space in order to be able to fit the culottes to the body. I like to leave that space, so if I have to adjust the crotch, then it'll be easy instead of having to take out the stitching, which is very difficult when you are working with knits. So I will sew the sides and then the inseam, and on the inseam and then before I finish the crotch, I'll put the culottes on and see if I am happy with the fitting, if it's not too tight or too wide. To be able to make the waistband, you need to measure the circumference of the waist of your culottes, and the height of the waistband will be 6.5 inches. Of course, you're going to fold this in half, that's why the measurement, but the width of the waistband will depend on the measurement of your culottes minus 2 to 3 inches. This quantity is the one that you're going to have to stretch when it passes the widest part of your body. So a good quality knit will be able to stretch through your hips and then recover back and become the waistband once again. So before you sew the waistband, pass it through your hips and then leave it right under your belly button and see if that it's comfortable for you. If you feel like it's too loose, then you can take in a little bit more. Match the seam of the waistband with the back seam of your culottes. You need to divide the waistband in 4 points: front, back, left and right. You will stretch the waistband between the 4 points that you have marked. I am going to be using a 3-step zigzag, and this is important because this stitch is extremely stretchable and it will replace the use of an overlocker, a serger or a cover stitch. With a simple machine, as you can see, you are able to make these culottes very easy. The only thing that remains to do is to turn the hem 1 inch and double stitch it. Tune in next time when I will be showing you how to make an office hour blouse that will go very well with these culottes. This was Mayra for So Easy. Thank you for watching. Until next time.